Hey everybody, and welcome back to Jinka Jabo. And today I just wanted to talk about winter, basically. I wanted to talk about winters I've experienced around the world and what's happening right now. And being plugged into Twitter and YouTube, watching what's going on in what looks to be a very rough winter back home, which I'm not experiencing here on the Eastern Hemisphere, as as the temperatures are finally back up into the 60s and hopefully hitting 70 again soon here in northern Vietnam. I do have some news to talk about, some current event stuff. Of course, we know what's happening with Steve Bannon. He went from leaving the White House in good terms, and again I am wrong. It seems that he has become an enemy of the Trumps, and more classic infighting, just like the Mooch, if you remember him. And it seems like there's always something new happening on the Trump show, which is very much like The Apprentice, just less well produced, I guess. And a sign that it's not perfect, and there is fighting going on in the Trump administration, but every day we are finding more and more proof that he's doing a quite good job. And today I present the news that, first of all, under him, the USDA has just reported that there are 20 million fewer food stamp users in the states. And that's great. That's a huge expense that's saved, and it's showing that people are working and contributing more and being less dependent and partaking in the economy. Even though I remember food stamps when I was a kid. They were paper, and it was sort of like its own designation of currency. And I'm not sure when they switched it, but I know that at some point it switched over to just having a card, and so it was very discreet. So you would just carry around like your credit card, and that was food stamps. But I remember the actual stamp, or food stamp, or Confederate dollars, as my parents used to call them. It's sort of a humor thing that we had. But anyway, so fewer people are on food stamps, and then also there's more news about North-South Korea situation. They've reopened a phone line between the countries, and so peace talks are well in motion now, and so this is historic. And everyone was laughing at the tweet, and of course, again, it was Gavin McInnes who said the left takes him literally but not seriously, when really he was serious, just not being literal. Of course he was wording that way. And there are those who think that he doesn't author any of that stuff, and there are those who think there are those who think maybe, well, it just has a mistakenly good effect if it has a good effect. Or there is just so much spin that it appears to me as having a good effect. But I'm just reporting what everyone else is reporting. I'm just saying what everyone else has said. My, it is loud in here. People are having fun. Hope you guys are having fun, wherever you are. Whatever you're doing. Knowing that at least one of you is out here in Vietnam with me. So anyway, that was just some good Trump news out of the way. I wanted to throw that out there. And I wanted to talk a little bit more about winters around the world. And what I meant by that, specifically, I was thinking of winter I experienced in Virginia Beach, Hampton Roads area. It was 7 years ago now. It's 6 or 7 years. It's a long time. But I remember being surprised that it got so cold that it would snow there, because I had been there in other times of year when it was even cold in March and so on, but I had never experienced snow on the beach. And it's really amazing, it turns the sand black. And walking on the coast when the coast is snowy is really out there. It spoke definitely to my Nordic blood to see that. And but also, because of the cold and the salt, the air just gets so incredibly dry, and your skin gets so itchy. But recently, I'm not gonna do his name right. It was Blaine Spencer, I think. I will correct that down there, but he just had a really funny tweet, and he's a meteorologist, and I just added him just a minute ago because, why not? But so he had a tweet which he later took down. I actually went through and went back in his history, and he tweets a lot. It's amazing how many of these journalists, politicians, whatever, you don't see them on TV that much. You don't hear them that much. They don't give many interviews. They'll drop 9 or 10 tweets a day, but there are other people who just, they love that publicity. And, like I tweet a lot, but it's all retweeting. But I did tweet a screen grab of the tweet that this fellow deleted, and it was, he's saying to Hampton Roads, and he's got a picture of it, like southeastern Virginia and northeastern North Carolina, Elizabeth City, up north to Chesapeake Bay, right? It's geography for you. And he says, expect a pounding. And he says something like, normally I like this sort of thing, but 8 inches is a little much, even for me. And it was just so innocently dirty, but it was just hilarious. And of course I can see why he deleted it. But I just thought that was cute. It was cute because he had no idea, like that's how innocent he was. It wasn't like a dirty thought so much as he was just saying it. It was just the way it came out. Like, he was really excited about lots of snow because as a meteorologist, that's your income, right? You need exciting natural stuff. Everyone stops what they're doing and watches that. You steal attention away from every politician, every current event. If there's a big storm happening, if Virginia is getting lots of snow, oh my God. I remember going there and laughing, they shut down, they close school if it gets 2 inches of snow. That's, as a teenager, as precocious as I was, but here I am, as an adult, like in a country where if it dips below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, they shut down school. And that's not, I don't think there's ever been snow in Hanoi. Even with me here, even with all of Al Gore's predictions being false on climate change, and all these doomsday prophecies getting more and more ridiculous over time. Which isn't to say that I'm a climate change denier. I'm just saying that the debate is really about to what extent man-made activity is influencing climate change. And to what extent, like the Paris Accord, which everyone defended and everyone got mad, said Trump was climate change denier and all this. Well, nobody on the right, to my knowledge, is a climate change denier. Of course the climate changes everything. Buddhism, right, is just part of everything, or the stream, right, the 1,000 faces. Like, of course everything changes, right, and of course there must be some influence that we are having, but like how much does that relate to the influence of solar flares, or to the natural progress of the Earth, or the natural time limit of the Earth, or any of these other much bigger questions that are hard to quantify? And bullshit like the Paris Accord that allowed us to pollute more, maybe. Sure, okay, but or that if we had stayed in, it would have restricted us more. But it gives China all these free passes, and China has done some horrible things with the environment. Hey, you want something depressing? Just take a bus outside of Beijing for a while. Go on a very smoggy day. Wear a mask, maybe. Cozy up with an Al Gore book, or better yet, some Rachel Carson or something. Maybe you'll see it then. And I understand that it being a very cold winter doesn't prove anything. Oh, there's another hilarious thing I saw on Twitter. Maybe you saw it too. But iguanas, I guess there are iguanas in Florida. they were getting really cold and falling off the trees, and people thought they were dying. But really, it turns out it was just some shock hibernation thing. Like, they got knocked out because of the cold, but they'll be fine. That's what the nature service down there has said. And I just think that's really cool. And it was adorable seeing those iguanas. I felt so bad for them, but I thought, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Lizards can do that because they've got cold blood. It's a whole different system, a whole different plumbing they've got going on in there. Expect a pounding. 8 inches is too much even for me, honey. Just hilarious. I hope everyone out there feels nice and warm and you don't slip on the ice or anything. Drive carefully. I always say that because every year when it gets snowy and icy, I always slip. I don't crash, but like I lose control of the car at some point. It's always scary as hell because you don't expect it, you know. Or get different tires or something. I never did important stuff like that, but I guess I won't have to now because I am back in the Far East, and it's already kind of warm. It's already getting back up to a good 70 degrees, and it's just going to keep getting warmer and warmer. I just wish the sun would come out. You ever see like Forrest Gump or Apocalypse Now, or pretty much any movie that takes place at some point in Vietnam? You'll know, like, the old trope is that it'll go for days and days where it's just rainy and cloudy. And man, isn't that the truth? That's how it is out here. It'll just be rainy and cloudy and miserable and cold for days and days. And then the sun will come out. So hopefully it makes an appearance this weekend and I can soak up some rays. And again, I hope everyone stays warm. And great to see you all again.